I keep hearing people tell me things like, I quit. When I ask, why'd you quit? The response that I'm getting is, well, I gave up on myself. You gave up on yourself? What? Listen to me. Listen to me. You can't give up on yourself. Ain't nobody got time for you quitting. Ain't nobody got time for you crying. Do you hear that? Listen, quitting is for losers, man. Listen, when you quit, you lose. Hear me. When you quit, you lose. Why did you put in all the work, all the sweat, all the tears if you was just gonna give up? You know what I say to that? I say, grow up, man. Grow up, lady. Quitting is for losers, man. Listen, when you quit, you lose. Hear me. When you quit, you lose. Quitting is for losers, man. Listen, when you quit, you lose. Hear me. When you quit, you lose. Quit being a grown-up baby. Because as a grown-up baby, all you ever gonna get is baby stuff. All you ever gonna drink is milk. You ain't never gonna get no meat. Why ain't you gonna get no meat? Because you just sitting around. Listen, it's time to grow up. There comes a time in everybody's life that you have to put away your childish ways. You gotta grow up. You gotta stand up. You gotta walk. You gotta run. You gotta do what you need to do. Stop getting your feelings in the mix of things. Your feelings are lying to you. That's why you still stuck in 1980, because your feelings have lied to you. Your feelings are just an emotional response to your conditions, and your conditions do not dictate who you are. Quit this for losers, man. Listen, when
Edge life, you're too close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's that edge life. Oh, oh, gotta get it in your head, baby. Welcome to the edge life. You're too close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's that edge life. Oh, oh, gotta get it in your head. Welcome to the edge life.
What is going on, good people? It is your guy, Philip Edge, and
your girl, Carrie Edge.
you know what it is.
Hey.
It is Sunday Fun Day, and it is another day for the Edge Life. So you've made it, man. You've made it.
Yes, we all made it.
We all made
Believe it or not, we made it to Sunday.
You know, and I get super excited when we make it to Sunday. This is literally, for us, this is going to be like the third installment, the third episode of the Edge Life. And today we're talking about 5 ways to make it work. 5 ways to make it work.
You better work.
Baby, what we talking about when we say work? And work. And work. And work.
And work.
My bad.
Sorry.
We got
that
excited.
Motivation mixtape.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, the motivation mixtape is kind of
You and
hot.
D-Lo did that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I hear it, you know, it's funny. You hear Kai quoted all the time.
Yeah.
He told the girls the other day, quitting is for losers. So I was like, oh, well, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, quitting is for losers. We're talking about doing work and relationships, and it doesn't matter what kind of relationship.
Right.
We have multiple relationships.
That's right. That's right.
You had the opportunity to preach today at church.
I did.
And you were talking about how we have, like, we're multifunctional. We have different roles that we operate in. And
Right.
so all these tips that we're giving to you tonight are for any relationship.
I love it.
Any relationship.
Now, I will say this, since this is for any relationship, this is, if you're married, this is for you. If you're single, this is for you. If, you know, you got a significant other, this is for you also. But listen, I'm saying all that to say, make sure you go ahead and you share this out. There may be somebody who needs this. There might be somebody who
manager,
yeah,
a child, you know, you have children,
I'm telling you.
You have siblings, we have parents.
Somebody might need to figure it out. Somebody might need to figure it out.
I might have been hatched from an egg. My dad used to tell me that, but it's okay.
So look, before we get started, I want, how you doing?
Doing okay. I'm sure we'll share soon.
Yeah.
Having, you know, some health struggles. Have been diagnosed with a a rare medical disorder.
But you still
But
fine. You still fine.
know,
You know what I'm saying? You still fine.
my God is always a healer.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. So it's been a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of feel, my energy bar is zooming down.
Mhm.
So I'm a very energetic, on the go kind of person all the time.
Right.
Upbeat, interactive, and it's been kind of hard.
Yeah. Well, you
have to pump my brakes, slow down, sit down somewhere. Have to.
Right.
It's not. It's not a get to.
Right.
It's like I don't have another option.
You have to. Yep.
I have to.
Yep.
How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
I know you're working hard.
I'm working hard. Got a lot of things going on with Edge and Associates.
Yep.
Literally, we're considering opening another Edge Up Academy masterclass. Yeah. That it's like a big deal. So I will say this: if that's something that you're interested in, when I talk about the Edge Up Academy Masterclass, we're really helping people become unstuck in your life. So if you're trying to figure out, just become more self-aware, if you're trying to really understand self, if you have like an idea but you can't really figure it out, listen, the Edge Up Academy Masterclass is for you. If that's something that you're interested in, make sure in the comment section you say, hey, tell me about that masterclass. I want to know about that masterclass thing, and we'll make sure we get you all the information.
I mean, the amazing thing about it, like literally the first masterclass that we ever did, like literally everybody launched a business, a ministry, and they're still rolling in it today. And periodically from time to time we'll connect back, and like that is our gifting. Like we pull what's in you out so that you can get unstuck and really just like, cut the strings of, lack of confidence, fear, all those sorts of things that keep holding people back from walking in their true destiny. So look, we're only taking the first 10.
That's it.
So you better get in while you can fit in.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And let me say this real quick. If you are serious about 2021 living your best life, this being the best year of your life, if you're serious about growing your business, if you're serious about finally getting clarity as to where you're going in life, this is for you. But we're looking for 10 people who are ready. Like, I'm not looking for 10 people who ain't ready, 10 people who wishy-washy. This is a masterclass. So
not for babies.
We need you to come ready, and we're going to take you higher than you ever even thought that you could go. So if that's you, make sure that you say me in the comments.
Other than my grandchildren, I done retired from changing diapers.
Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody.
Meat,
that's what I'm talking about.
Y'all.
So aside from that, though, hey, listen, I'm getting it going. Edge Energy Shots. We're on.
Man,
I think today was 52. Today was 52.
So we're on.
So 52. So we're getting ready to jump on 53 tomorrow. Listen, 53 straight days we've done the Edge Energy Shot. Over 70, almost 80 days we've done a video. A video every day, at least one every single day. So we've been grinding, man. We've been grinding, but at the end of the day,
you.
Well, I mean, hey.
But he draws from my energy.
That's right. I'm drawing strength from you, honey. I'm drawing strength from you, and it's a beautiful thing to draw strength from you. So it is a beautiful thing. So I will say this. If you have not checked out the Edge Energy Shots, make sure you go to our YouTube page, or you can check us out on Facebook. Just click a couple of the links, and you'll be able to. It'll take you right there. It'll take you right there.
I had to tell him. So every day I get up, and I try to feed myself. I want to read my scripture, devotional or whatever. But I always listen to, encouraging, motivational, spiritually uplifting sorts of things. So I kind of have gotten into a little routine.
Okay.
Just so that you all know, I listen to my pastor, Philip Edge. I listen to Philip Edge first. I got to get the energy shot from the previous day, or if it's already posted from that particular day. It's usually not, because I'm up early. And then Pastor Stephen Furtick right after. So I mean, you're in good company.
I'm in great company.
YouTube.
I'm in great company. Me and Stephen Furtick, hey, we do it.
By the time I get done with Philip Edge and Stephen Furtick, I can take the world.
Yeah, we do it.
So it's really, honestly, like, it has been an encouragement to me. And helped me to keep going. I mean, there literally have been days. This morning was one of those. I had to talk to myself, literally out loud. Okay, you can do this. There may be days when you can't make it to church, but today is not that day.
Yeah.
You can do this.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and that's a word message for somebody
You
right
can do
now.
it.
You know, you can do this.
There are going to be days where you
That's
just
right.
cannot. But
That's
if
right.
you even feel like you can,
That's right.
you know, just encourage yourself and press on. And so it was so worth it. You know, I got to see my friends. They're not really friends. They're more like
The family. Yeah. Yeah.
They're more
Yeah.
like fam.
Yeah.
So relationships are important. And that's a good segue right into these
Yeah.
5. There are so many.
Yeah. We
But
just had to
we
bring
wanted to
5.
give you the 5 things that we really feel for us have, you know, kept us together.
That's right. And honestly,
we get together?
Go on, girl. Get it together. Yeah, that was a great song. That was a great song. So listen, here's the thing. You know, a lot of times people, especially as we talk about relationships, as we talk about trying to, you know, to stay together, there are a lot of people who they feel like, I don't love them no more. I'm not in this no more. I can't do this no more. And today we really want to talk about 5 ways to make it work. Like, what can you do to make it work? Why are we talking about this? And who are we to talk about this? Well, first and foremost, we've been together for 20 years, married. You know what I'm saying?
29 together.
29
Yes.
together. I say it one more time for the people in the back there.
29.
29
Next year,
together.
we will have spent 30
Woo!
years. And
Woo!
by the way,
Woo!
yes,
That
this
deserves
is
one of
my
those.
45th year on this planet. So I literally have been, you know, with my husband like twice as long as
Yeah.
I was by myself.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's just wow.
So we're going to share with you all some really, really good things. I don't want to prolong the time.
Let's do it. Jump right in.
I hope that y'all are ready. The first thing that we
Pencil,
got on
paper.
here
Let's go.
is be present. Like
Yeah.
you have to be present. We call these be here now behaviors, right?
Mhm.
Be here now behaviors. That means like you got to be where you are. You can't be thinking about, you know, yesterday. You can't be thinking about the job. Like when I get with my wife or my children, like I try my best to be with them. I remember one time, and I'm gonna share with y'all. I'm gonna be real transparent. One day I was talking to my wife. And, you know, Trey was growing up, and Trey had come to me one day, and he's like, he asked me why I was here, and I was like, what do you mean why I'm, I live here, right? You know, I live here. But Trey was like, well, you're always gone somewhere else. And I was like, man, that's harsh. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to work and bust my butt for my family. So when my 13-year-old is coming to me saying that I'm always gone, that's an aha moment. So I came to my wife and I was like, hon, you know, can you believe what Trey said? And as we're talking, she says, well, sometimes I do feel like a single mother. And this is what she said. She said, because even the moments when you're here, you're not present. You're still gone. You're on your computer. You're on your iPad. You're doing work. So even though you're here, you're not really here. So several years ago, I had to make a decision. I had to say, okay, am I going to be present with my wife and my children and my family, or am I going to be absent? And sometimes you can be present and absent at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So we got to figure out ways that we can make sure that we're being present with our spouses. Be present when you're on the job. Like when you're there, be there. You know what I'm saying? Don't be somewhere else. Like really be focused and intentional about being there.
Yeah, I had a conversation with my coworker this past week, and you know, I'm very transparent. We talk about a number of things, but one of the things that she reflected back to me that I didn't really think of I haven't thought of it for a long time. And she said, I love how you intentionally spend time with just one of your children. And when she doesn't have children, but she's learning, you know, she's watching the relationship that I have and how I cultivate it. And so, you know, it's very important, like be present in the moment when you have the chance. Like, you know, I'll take one of the kids with me to go and do something.
Right.
And I've been doing this since they were little.
Right.
Because, you know, when you live in a household of multiples, and some of you all out there, that's the case for you.
Right.
You know, how often did you really get to spend time alone with just your mom or just your dad?
Right.
You know, usually it's a couple of you or all of you or whatever the case may be. So you have to be very intentional to be present. You know, push yourself into sharing time.
Yes.
You know, our time is very valuable, but when you share your time, because it is so precious with someone and you're fully there in that moment, that shows them how valuable they are to you. And
Absolutely.
This works the same way, like in a work setting. You know, I have supervised people, since I was probably 22. 23 years old. So for a very, very long time, I've been put in a management role.
Right.
And I realized early on, like, the relationship that I have outside of just, you know, the work that we do together, that the work we do together is so much more productive, just like we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
When I am very present with them, when I really listen, not to just things in work, you know, but really listen to what's going on.
Right.
I mean, sometimes people are really growing through some situations, and they can't help but bring some of that to work. As much as you might try to check it at the door before you leave, it's so hard. And so you have to be so in tune. And that's what really being present, it means, you know, putting yourself aside to be fully in tune with the other person, you know, sharing the time, forcing yourself to share space. Like if you manage people, you know, spend some time in a space with them, you know, go to their office. Don't always, especially if you're the manager. Anybody ever been to the principal's office? I can remember working, I have never, but I can remember when I worked for the sheriff's office, and there was like this certain culture wherever you got like called to somebody's office, you always thought you were getting in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
It may not always, usually, you know, for me, it wasn't that way, but I tried to stay out of trouble. But go to them. Like, you know, have that surprise moment where you ask them if now is a good time and you'd like to just talk to them.
Yeah.
You know, if you haven't done that before, it's like,
oh,
whoa.
Yeah.
You know, that's managing by walking around. That's a good principle. But be present requires you to be intentional.
And you know, the one thing about being present, it doesn't take as much time as you would think that it takes, you know. I'll give one example. You know, today when we got home, Kai literally met us outside. He was like, what's going on?
Yeah,
and
it was baseball.
It was baseball today, right? So those of you who know our son Kai know that he's a sports junkie, but today was baseball, right? So when I got home, the first thing he said to me, he said, Dad, he said, can you throw the ball with me? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I had a lot of stuff that I needed to get done today before we got to this moment, right? So, you know, I had to put slides together. I had to do the energy
you just
shot.
Preached a sermon that you didn't know about to like 20, 30 minutes before you had to.
I had to get out there and get my preach on. So there's a whole lot going on. And literally I was like, oh, man. But then I paused and I said, you know what? He does not require a lot of time. So literally he had changed from baseball to football by the time I came back to him. And I said, come on, son, let's go outside and throw ball. So we went out. We probably threw the ball. He probably did about, 10 go routes. And by that time he was tired and ready to come back in.
You warm out quick.
But the thing is, he loved that.
Yeah.
And for him, that settled him down. I could tell that he really appreciated the fact that I went outside. It was a beautiful day. It was like 60 degrees out here in Atlanta today. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't take a whole lot of time to make sure that you're there and that you're involved, because I want to make sure that even for Kai, I want Kai to know, you know what, my dad took time with me. Yes. Even if it's just he went out and threw the ball with me. Y'all follow me?
And I think just, you know, my last comment really on this is that it takes less time in the long run.
In the long run, yeah.
So when you push people off and you're not present, and you're not dealing with things, and you're not there for them, it takes more time in the long run to fix the things that you broke.
Right.
You broke them because you didn't want to spend 2 minutes. You know, our granddaughter all the time now, she'll get involved in something, and she's constantly saying, you know, I'll say, hey, Carson, talk to Mima on the phone. I too busy. You know, we have to be so careful to never let people think that we're too busy for them.
That's right.
You're never too busy for the people that you love. And like Philip said, it only took a moment.
That's right. That's right. So the first one we're talking about, you need to be present. So if you're trying to make it work, try being present.
Absolutely.
Try being present. Second thing on the list, you have to listen more.
Oh. And that is part of being present.
You have to listen more.
But it's more than that.
Come on, tell them. Talk to them, honey.
I mean, it's not just the words people say.
Right.
But you've got to be like, listening to the body language.
Right,
even.
right.
Listen more than you speak. Like, just hush for a minute, you know? Just hush and listen. Just step back and observe what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, watch your children interact with each other. Like I said, I hear my granddaughter say certain things. You know, I'm too busy. You know, just stepping back and listening to all the things that are happening. You know, as our children have gotten older, like when they were little, like they would crack me up. Like just, you know, listening to them play with each other and that sort of thing.
Right.
You know, now I get so proud. Like, you know, we had a young lady that lived with us for several years. And she's like, you know, had been like, she was like one of our own.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a time where I heard my son, who was several years younger than her,
Mm-hmm.
just talking to her and encouraging her and, you know, giving her good advice and just stepping back and listening. You get so much more from just really listening.
Yep.
And taking in all that's around you. And like I said, it's more than just words that people are saying.
Yep.
But it's their body language. And again, you know, going back to the being in, you know, management, managing people and those sorts of things, the world around you is speaking all of the time if you
Yep.
have ears to hear.
Yep.
And you can't sit there and say, I didn't know.
Right.
You know, if you didn't know, it's your fault because you weren't listening more.
Yep. Yep.
So.
And you know, one of the things that I think about, especially when listening, you have to, and you mentioned it, you have to listen past the body language. There are so many people that we see on a day-to-day basis. They will say things like, you ask them a question like, how are you doing? And they will say things like, I'm good.
I give you the fine.
Right. I'm fine. I'm good. But we have to get to the place where we are listening beyond what they are saying. You got to listen past the words of people. You have to listen to the point that you can recognize the interference that's going on in people's lives, because the truth of the matter is there are people who are hurting out there and they have life that is happening. So we have to be able to listen past the, oh, I'm fine, or I'm okay. You know, ask them again. Now, how are you really? And see how they respond. Like sometimes I'm talking to people, I might ask them 5 times the same exact question to see how they respond, because again, I'm digging, because once I smell it and I see it, I'm like, hold on, we got to figure out what's going on, right? Because here's the thing, how can we really share information one to another if somebody's broken down? Yeah. You know, today we're talking, it's like if one of us hurts, then we all hurt, right? If one of us is good, then everybody's good. So we have to realize that when people that you love are hurting, you got to figure out what's going on. Don't let that thing continue to fester. So we have to listen more and listen beyond the body language.
I think sometimes you have to press in, like you said, with questions. And I just questioning people, asking questions is like turning up the volume on your hearing aid. It helps you to hear more, like, you know, really press in, really push in.
Yep.
You know, obviously not to, you know, harm somebody in any kind of way. If they really aren't ready to talk, then that's okay. But listen even to that.
That's right. That's right.
Ask questions.
That's
right.
right.
Press on in. Let people know that you really care.
That's right.
I mean, there have been times as I've been going through some health issues since August. So I'm ready to go into my 45th year, by the way.
Come on, somebody.
In April, yes.
Come on, somebody.
Because 44 wasn't very kind to me. I have never been sick, never had anything, you know, so I know, you know, I'm just gleaning some learning so that I can give God more glory in certain areas of my life that I've never experienced before. But, you know, Philip just listening to me, you know, even when I talk about things that I can't even really explain.
Right.
You know, you just listen to somebody who's just like, they're not really talking about anything. Man, to have someone like that. And if you don't have someone like that in your life, number one, be that person, and it will be reciprocated to you.
Yes.
But, you know, just listen.
Yeah.
Just slow down. Life is so fast, and we're bombarded with so much input all the time that, you know, sometimes we just don't slow down enough to just listen to the people that we really care about.
And our sisters over at Be Love Inc. What's going on, Shantae?
And
Shantae Via. How y'all doing?
Hey.
And listen, they said this, and I put it on the screen. Yeah. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear and slow to speak. And slow to rap. I love that.
Slow to be angry.
That's it. That's a good one. Also, Mr. Stefan said, "What's up? We love you. We love you right back, my brother. We love you right back. We love you right back." Yes. So when we get to this thing, and we're talking literally about being able to listen more. I mean, that in and of itself, we don't know how valuable that is to people by itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Just when you can just say, you know what, I'm gonna pause what I'm doing. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna give my undivided attention to my wife. I'm gonna give my undivided attention to this individual, and I'm just gonna listen. Some things don't warrant a response. You got to catch that.
Sometimes people don't want that.
Exactly.
They don't want you to answer.
Exactly. Some things don't warrant a response. Some things just look and require your presence, i.e., number one, be present. You got that?
And the last thing that I'm gonna say to this: listen even when it hurts.
That's good.
Or listen especially. Let's take out even. Listen especially when it hurts, right? Don't say anything. Because remember, and Philip started out with this, it's not personal.
Right.
Like don't take it personal. Just listen. You know, when I think about my relationship with the Heavenly Father, I know that there are times where I'm talking to him and his heart is breaking. For the things that I'm saying. Either, you know, maybe he's like, oh man, like she's hurting and I want her to see and I want her to just trust and I want her to have faith, and she feels like I've left her and I let her down, and I haven't. He never cuts me off. He just consistently is just listening. And we just need to be that sometimes for people, even when what they're saying hurts. And that's so hard, but that is a test of a true relationship. And it doesn't matter what kind it is, you know, husband and wife, you know, parent to child, friend to friend. Just listen even when it hurts.
That's good.
And just receive it and digest it before you say anything.
That's good. So the first one we talked about was being present, right?
Yes.
The second one we said we need you to listen more. And here's the third one. We said you need to be solutions focused, right? You need to be solutions. If you want to make it work, you got to be solutions focused. Let me say it this way. Sometimes when we're having conversations, specifically in a married relationship, right? We always want to have the conversation to be able to say, well, you did this. Well, it was you. Well, it's your fault, right? This is not a fault thing. We're together so that we can bring forth a solution. You know, one of the things that I say all the time, God put my wife and I together so that we can literally be a solution together. Right. Literally, that's what we're supposed to do. So we got to figure out what's the solution to what we have going on.
I mean, if you've ever been around somebody who is always just talking about the problem, I mean, literally, you know, they have an innate ability to find something wrong with everything.
Right.
It's very hard to be around people like that. And so we want your relationships to be strong.
Yes.
And the best way really for them to be strong is to always, when there are hiccups, because there are going to be ups and downs in every relationship. I mean, to sit here and say that we've never talked about or had a conversation about not being together, being divorced. I mean, whether it was when we were dating or even after we were married, I'd be lying to you, because sometimes it does get hard, and we are human beings. We're going to make mistakes. But you need to be focused on the solution, not constantly like bringing up the problem, you know, going back to being present in the moment. Be in the now. Don't bring up the past. You know, the past is in the past. Like, let that go.
Right.
Be focused on the solution. What do we need to do now to move forward?
Absolutely.
You know, I can sit here and I can bring up 1,000,001 things as to the reason why we're here. I can point fingers in every which way. I can even point fingers at myself. Or I can sit here and say, okay, this is where we are. Now let's figure out where we need to go.
Yeah.
Let's just stop right there. I tell people all the time, like, I give myself 30 seconds to have a pity party.
There you go.
Because I have a revelation that I'm a human being.
Come on, somebody. The 30-second pity party. Y'all better catch it.
Sometimes I need to have a 30-second pity party.
Y'all better catch it.
But then, from the pity party, I need to be a problem solver.
That's right.
You know, from the pit to the solution. So, be focused on where you need to go from this point. And that's even when things aren't bad.
That's right.
You should always be pressing forward.
That's right. You know, it's interesting because, you know, I think about 1 Corinthians 13. For those of you who are not believers, that is the one chapter where we talk about love a whole
even people who
lot.
aren't believers,
you know
they read that
they still read it
at the wedding.
Okay, all right. So look, but one of my favorite verses in there, it says, "And love keeps no record of wrongdoing, right? And that right there, that touches you somewhere. What do you mean love keeps no record of wrongdoing? Like literally, what's going on, Mr. Riley? Like literally love, like when you love somebody, it's not about like what you did wrong, right? And I'm not gonna sit there and be like, well, 2 weeks ago you did so and so. Well, you remember last year when you did this? Well, 3 years ago, if you wouldn't have done no, love does not keep a record of wrongdoing. Man, when you can say I'm not keeping a record of wrongdoing, what you can say is I'm solutions focused. I'm trying to get to the place where I'm not worried about what you did. I'm trying to figure out how in the world we can get to the place we're trying to go.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Like you just have to stay focused on that solution.
That's right.
Stop looking back. Stop being trapped.
That's right.
That is a trap. That is one of the biggest traps is the past. The past is a trap, and it's set up for, you to fall, for you to falter if you keep taking someone back to their past. Like, if you're solutions focused, when something happens in a relationship, you deal with it in the moment, get present, listen, and focus on a solution and move forward.
Yep.
Those 3 things right there. Be present in that moment.
Present in the moment.
Listen to what they have to say.
Yep.
And where do we go from here? And then leave it. Don't bring it back. Stop bringing it back. Like, it's not going to validate the situation.
Right.
It really doesn't make you feel any better. You think it will by pointing a finger and say, well, you back in 1992, and I can go back. Well, yeah, I can go back that far.
Go back to 92.
1992, you did so-and-so and so-and-so.
Right.
Like, what is that?
What's that going to do?
What's that got to do with 2021?
Right.
Like, for real.
Absolutely.
If you deal with it then it has no purpose. It has no right even to be in the present.
That's good. That's
Deal.
Good.
People need to grow up and deal with stuff.
So the first one we talked about being present, right?
Be present.
The second one we talked about listening more.
Yes.
The third one we talked about being solutions focused. This fourth one, I love this one.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Oh, see good.
Woo!
Man, just like some people have the innate ability to find everything wrong with anything. Boy,
we know some people like that, man. Stories. We know some people, right?
It's like everything is critical. But there are people in this world.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know them. I know a few of them. But that can literally see good in everything.
I can see good in everything.
Yes.
I try to.
This man right here is so good at finding the good. And listen, and I've said this before, whatever you look for,
that's what you're going to find.
You will find.
Yep.
Whatever you seek, you will find. It is biblical.
Yep.
So if you're looking for the good, you will find it. If you want your relationships to thrive, see the good.
Come on.
Find the good in everything.
Yep.
I know I've had to reprimand a number of people in my time managing because, again, I've been managing for like 22 years. Oh, my gosh, that sounds weird to say.
Yeah.
I'm getting old.
That's a hot minute.
For 22 years, I've been managing people. And I remember the first time that I fired someone. I'm not going to say his name, but if he ever listens to this podcast, he will know. And this is a man. So I moved 8 hours away from my family for the very first time. Philip was still in school. I moved with our son, Trey. So I'm a single mom all by myself, living in a place I've never been. I've never lived anywhere but my parents' home. Now I'm in this apartment with this 3-year-old kid who thinks he's Cowboy Tarzan. For real. That's a different story. But he wore
tell a story one day.
Tarzan loincloth and
cowboy boots and a
cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I have... there's a lot of things that I just never experienced.
Right.
I couldn't get my car open one day, lock the keys. I mean, I needed help. I needed people. And this gentleman not only was a helper to me, but he also was employed by me.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the day my boss was like, you know what you need to do. And I was like, but he fixed my tire. He unlocked my car. Da, 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 da. So I am terminating this man's employment, y'all, and I'm crying all the while. And he was like, he's hugging me at the end. And I don't know if he was really sure what had just happened. So, even though it was a negative situation, I was still searching, for the good.
Yeah.
Trying to affirm this person because he had done good things. He had been good to me.
Absolutely.
So even in the midst of trial, it will help you. Your trial will not overwhelm you when you can see the good.
That's right.
And no matter what else happens around you, stay focused and just look at the good, see the good, see the good, see the good. And I know that has been, you know, one of the things for us that's really kept us together.
Absolutely.
I can see things in him that he doesn't see in himself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And, you know, it's amazing, you know, when I think about, you know, us, you know, and I shared this with you all, you know, my wife does little things that will pull out the good in me, which is funny because, again, she just says, you know, sometimes she sees things that I don't even see. Right. She knows me probably better than I even know myself many times. Right. And she kind of knows what I need. And, you know, I know for me, you know, I'm always trying to pour out to other people. So what happens when the person who's pouring out needs to be poured into? Oh. You know, it's that's a whole nother little thing. That's a whole nother thing. But here's the thing, like my wife will see good in me, and she'll do things like the other day she brought this note and sat it beside me. I don't know if y'all can read that, right? It says, every time you open your mouth, lives, including yours, are being transformed. I love you. Keep pressing. Like she doesn't know, but this little thing right here kept me going because
except for he wrote a number on the backside of it.
Well, I did write a number on the backside.
Dial that number and find out who it is.
Well,
no, I'm joking.
Well, I don't even know who it is. But you can call him.
But hey, my husband needs to know who this is.
But it's little things like this. You know, it's little things like, you know, like this little Post-it right here. You know what I'm saying? So
you make a difference.
I'm saying this because you got to be able to see the good in your spouse. You got to be able to see the good in the people that you're working with, and you got to be able to pour into them because you never know. You never know what's going on. You never know what they need, right? So you got to make sure that you're seeing the good so you can give them the good.
And outside of just giving them the good comes back. So when you see the good and you affirm the good, you have a greater chance of having the good come back to you.
Right.
So when you focus on the negative behaviors all the time or the negative outcomes all the time, that's all that it's going to be. I promise you.
Right.
But when you can find the good, and sometimes it's hard, but if you could just find like a sliver of good.
Yep.
Just a speck of good, and you speak into that good thing, and you just keep speaking into that good thing and keep speaking into that good thing, then that good thing is going to grow, number one, because whatever you feed will grow.
Will grow, absolutely.
And as it grows, it produces fruit after its own kind.
Come on, yep.
And thus you start being able to eat of the good of the fruit
That's right.
that you saw.
That's right.
You looked at the seed. Nobody else saw the potential in the seed.
Mm-hmm.
And even though some dirt came and there was some rainy times and some crying times, all of those things caused that seed to grow because you saw the good in that seed. So keep looking for it. Keep looking for it. Keep affirming it as soon as you see it. Whether it's in your child, your spouse, a friend, a coworker. Find the good.
That's right.
See it.
Mr. Rowell said those are the big little things,
yes.
right? Those are the big little things. And you're so right. You know, it is just a little piece of paper, and it was just a little bit of time, but that thing was so big because honestly, that was the motivation that pushed me the entire rest of the week because I was like, yeah, I'm ready. You know what I mean? You know, listen, and I'm going to say this, and this ain't even that I know, it's just extra just for you. When you have somebody who believes in you, like that, right? That if you can have somebody, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a boss, whether it's a coworker or a colleague, if you can find somebody to believe in you, man, that's like a game changer.
Man, you
right
feel
there.
Invincible.
You do feel invincible. You feel like I can run through a brick wall. You know, even if you can't run through the brick wall, when you have somebody who believes in you and can pump you up, man, it does something for you.
Oh, man, I know. And it's been a strength for me because I'm just surrounded by people who just look for the good.
Yeah.
And are just always affirming me. You know, if you don't have those folks in your life, you need to change it up.
That's right.
You need to change up your relationships. You need to evaluate your relationships and get around some people that see the good in you.
Yeah.
Not just in themselves.
Right. and I'm going to say this, and again, this wasn't even on the notes, but this is extra. You brought it onto the podcast today, so I'm going to share it with you. In life, we should always have a couple different people in our lives, right? Mm-hmm. Like literally, we should always have somebody who is where we want to be and literally is pouring into us. We always need to have a couple of people who are in the same area that you are, who you can walk together with, right. And you all can see each other and you can walk together because, again, two hands are much better than one. And then you always have to have somebody that you're pulling up and you can pour into. Like, we all have to have those circles. Somebody told me a long time ago, they said, listen, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to get another room. And I don't even know who I'm talking to right now, but
narcissistic behavior.
Yeah, but we got to make sure our circle is intact and we have the right people in our circle. Somebody who's pouring into you, somebody who you're walking with, and then somebody who you're pouring into. It always works that way.
You were created to release.
That's it.
And if you don't, you'll get constipated.
Come on,
so
somebody.
I'm going to leave it right there because that's spiritual, and let it hit you where it hits you.
Ooh.
Find somebody that you can pour into.
Constipated don't feel good neither. So the first thing we talked about was be present. The second thing we talked about, you got to listen more, right? What's the third thing?
Be
solutions focused. And then we said you have to
see good.
And the last one is probably one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite, but what's the last one?
Oh, girls, they want to have fun. Whoa, girl. Oh, and guys, too.
She having a moment, y'all. She having a moment.
We just wanna.
Was that Cyndi Lauper or was that Madonna? Cyndi Lauper?
Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
She's so
Girls,
unusual.
They want to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And if you remember Girls, They Want to Have Fun, put it in the comments. You remember that song, because we are definitely dating ourselves. Some people are like, I don't even know what that is. But if you've never heard that song, go ahead and Google it, and you'll see what we're talking about.
But they know what fun is. And let me just tell you, it's not always in relationships about what you want.
Ooh.
It's about doing what the other person loves, right? It's like, lending lending yourself to whatever they enjoy doing.
Right.
So we've shared the Ferris wheel experience at my 40th birthday. I didn't really know that my husband was afraid of heights in the way that he was, and never really had seen him scared. But he did a Ferris wheel, the biggest one, I guess, at least in Atlanta where we're at. But it's so important. A friend of mine, I'll shout out Alicia and Yvonne. Alicia likes to dance, and so Yvonne took, himself out of his element and learn some, salsa, merengue, that sort of thing. So do things that the person that you care about loves.
Yeah.
And just be present in the moment when you love that, and it will be so much fun. You'll grow. You'll learn. I mean, I remember, so I guess I was a little bit selfish, but I thought he would like to try something different. I think it was for Father's Day. So one Father's Day, I took him fishing because he had never been fishing before. So I took
I'm a city
and my
guy,
son.
y'all.
It was before we had any other children, and I took him fishing for the first time.
Yeah.
And he caught
She bought me the tackle box, the rod, the reel,
the good
the
stuff.
bucket hat. I was fisherman ready.
But he caught
nothing
except for some limbs.
I was mad too.
So,
I ain't gonna lie.
I was trying to make it fun for him to experience something. And then I had another epic fail, taking him to do something he had never done before. And I bought all this ball ammunition, right? And I was like, I'm going to take him. I'm going to let him shoot my Glock. And I'm going to let him shoot the 9mm, the Walther, PPX. He's going to have a blast.
My shoulder was hurting,
He was like, I don't know how you do this.
My shoulder was hurting.
He was like, my arm tired. I was like, bum, bum, bum. So, but, he was like, you just go ahead and shoot. You go ahead and shoot. So we had fun.
Right.
He let me do what I love.
Yep.
So.
And sometimes, again, you got to be able to do those kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
Go even if you don't necessarily like it, you gotta put on that smiley face and enjoy it. I remember like here, and this is a funny one.
Lighten up.
My wife loves. She's a thrill seeker, y'all. If y'all have not figured it out, she is a thrill seeker. She loves doing stuff like that. So we went to Orlando, Florida, at a conference a couple of years back. And we were talking, and there's this ride in Orlando and a couple other places called the Slingshot.
Y'all know.
If you've never seen the Slingshot, Google that also. But literally, you're in a thing, and it pulls you back, and shoom, it shoots you up, and it slingshots you up in the air. And my wife, man, she tried real hard to get me on that ride. And now here's the thing, it was fun for me. Going and watching.
Yes, he enjoyed this.
I did enjoy going and watching. So my wife and a good friend of ours, Demetrius, shout out to the McIntoshes.
Hey,
they got on this doggone Slingshot, and I watched them, and I had a blast watching them. But I was not going to get on that Slingshot, and they came down, and they over there talking about, let's do it again. I
so would have done it again. But I'm also frugal. So have fun within your financial limits.
Oh, my
Because
gosh.
otherwise you'll have to learn to be present in the moment and solutions focused when you have to listen more because you got to discuss your financial issues. No.
So what are the things that you all do to have fun?
Yeah,
I know
what you like to do to have fun.
I know us. One of the things we enjoy, we love music. We love all kinds of music. So we might be in the house, we might be singing, we might be karaokeing, we might be dancing.
Our son DJs every night.
Yeah. So we're doing things like that just to have fun. Sometimes like we'll just be in the car, we'll just be laughing about sometimes the most random things. You know what I mean?
The hinges on the cabinet. Y'all, this is not going to be funny to y'all. We have been living in this house for 14 years.
Oh, my gosh.
A little bit over 14 years. And I came home the other day, and the cabinet was open. I was like,
what's
one
going
of
on with
these
the cabinet?
knuckleheads
Left the
this
cabinet open.
So I went over to close the cabinet. The cabinet had news for me. It was like,
Is it
came right back open. Went over to close the cabinet. A little bit harder this time. Came back open. So I tried to gently close the cabinet. Came back open. I was like, what is going on? One of these knucklehead kids done pushed the cabinet too far back, and now the hinges aren't working right. So me being like MacGyver, Mr. Fix-It, Tim the Toolman Taylor, I decided to look at these hinges to see what was going on with it. So I'm examining the hinges and whatnot. Philip comes in there. I was like, hey, this cabinet won't close. He starts looking at it now.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even really know what I was doing, but I knew I was supposed to look at it.
Knows what a hammer and a screwdriver look like. He can go find them, but you may not want him to use them. And if he gets out a power tool, you better
run.
Either get it from him or get away. One or the two. One or the two. So he opens it up. He's just looking at it. The man, y'all, he gets the best tool on the earth. This is the Fix-It Everything tool.
This is the best tool.
This tool can fix anything.
This is the best tool.
Let's see if you all know what it is.
In the comment section, if you know what the best tool
it can fix anything.
That can fix anything that can be found in your kitchen is, put it in the comments.
Oh, not just in the kitchen.
Well, it can be found pretty much everywhere.
This is like dual purpose.
Yeah.
It can be used anywhere. It can be used anywhere to fix anything. So he gets out this multi-purpose multifunctional tool.
Yep.
That's good for everything. And he's over there trying to like pry these hinges. Meanwhile, I'm inspecting the other hinges on the other cabinet, realizing we've been in this house for 14 years. This house was built, I don't know, early 70s. Y'all. 40 years ago, somebody must have been drinking too much.
What happened, honey?
Of the alcoholic adult beverages.
What happened? Hold on, look at Mr. Riley.
Oh, yes, Mr. Riley.
Ding, 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 ding.
Butter knife. Yes. The applause. Yes. So he...
Yep, that's right, Jody. The butter knife. That's right. The butter knife.
Yes, it was the butter knife, y'all. It did not work because someone had been drinking too much when they put this cabinet on. And they put the hinge on backwards. Now, how in the Sam Hill? How in tarnations?
The hinges was on backwards, y'all. The hinges was on. After...
So our kids ain't going to go through all that trouble to have a little bit of fun with us and humor us to move hinges around. I promise you this.
Right.
So we've been here 14 years. Those hinges have been on here 20 plus years.
Backwards.
And we're just now having this open cabinet issue. And it's still an open cabinet, and probably when we sell this house,
it'll be an open
because
cabinet.
the butter knife didn't work. So this is how we have fun, y'all. I am the one-hit wonder.
Man.
I will get a zinger in on you in a heartbeat, and then I'm done.
Oh, man.
I just back up and punt, because if I keep going, you might try to get one on me. And then my feelings will get hurt. No, I'm joking. So we love to laugh. We love to dance. We love to sing, even though we can't. Our house, humor has been, I'm going to tell you,
a big thing for us.
It's really kept us together because we can just be in a place. Because I was mad about the cabinet.
And yes, Mr.
And
Riley.
I broke down. Like, I was laughing so hard, no sound was coming out.
After 14 years. Yes, it was after 14 years we recognized that the hinge is on back.
But no, it's been longer. We've been here 14 years.
We've been here 14 years.
But this house was built like 20 plus years ago, like when we were born.
Oh, man.
So this 40-year-old cabinet is just breaking down. It's kind of like me. It's just breaking down. Its warranty must have expired or something.
Oh, man.
So if y'all come to the house, I'm going to be like Philip's dad, and I'm going to use a little
Little duct tape. Little duct tape. Hey. Matter of fact, do I have any duct tape? I might got some duct tape in my little
the
cabinet.
duct tape. I had to hide it because your son has the same problem. It's genetic. It's genetic with edgemen. They got an issue with butter knives
and duct tape.
If it can't be fixed by those two, it is broke. Buy a new one.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Buy a new one.
That's what I'm saying.
So yes, this is how we have fun. So we can't encourage you all enough in any relationship. Yeah. Don't be so uptight. Like, have fun, have new experiences.
Yes.
Enjoy each other, enjoy each other's presence and the things that each other loves.
One of our sisters from Be Love Inc. They said, Carrie, we can hang out.
Oh my goodness!
They said we love all things adventures. Skydiving is so much fun.
I've already found somebody that wants to go skydiving.
Look,
so it's someone that I work with. So yes,
falling through the clouds at 160 miles per hour is amazing.
The part that I was worried about the most with the slingshot, y'all, that was like being in the face down, like, you flip, come back down. That was the best part. I wanted to keep doing that thing, coming back down, flipping and seeing, what was up, what was down, what was up, man, even thinking about it
makes me dizzy. Mr. Riley just said duct tape would have been a second choice. It. You know it. That's what I'm talking about. The duct tape is always good.
And plastic owls. But that is a story for the next podcast. You ask duct tape and plastic owls. If you can figure out what it is.
Duct tape and plastic owls.
I tell you what, if you can figure out what it is, you get the master class for free.
Yep. Yeah, we'll give you the master class for
free. Duct tape and owls. So however you get in touch with us, on any of our platforms.
Just connect with us.
Say duct tape and owls equals. Yep. Tell us what it equals. Yeah. What problem was that an attempt to solve? Because we are solution focused. Yes.
So let's give it to it one more time, honey. We said the first thing was to be what?
Present in the moment.
To be present in the moment.
Be present.
The second thing we said that they had to do is what?
Listen more.
To listen more. Number 3, we said we need to be solutions focused. Number 4 was...
See the G-O-O-D. Good.
G-O-O-D. Good, right? And then finally, this last one we said you need to have fun. You need to have fun.
Girls, they want to have fun.
Cyndi Lauper. Now, here's the thing, though. When you do these 5 simple things, listen, these are 5 things that you can do to make it work, man. You can make it
retention.
Work. Relationship retention 101. That's what we should have called this, right?
Relationship retention.
You can make it
work.
Hold on. Now, one other thing that you can do, though, you can really get to the place where you begin understanding yourself, right? Because when you start understanding yourself, then you can start understanding, well, what is it about me that's a little different? How can I take my personality and mesh it and work with your personality, so on and so forth. So one other thing that we did, we told you about the master class. Mm-hmm. But we also have created this thing that we call the cheat code. And the cheat code is about self-awareness and really understanding yourself, especially if you're in a relationship or you married and stuff like that. So let us show you what we're talking about when we say the cheat code. Check this out, y'all.
I'm an individual. With my own way of doing things. I have my own strengths. And my blind spots. I like things done my way. But what happens when 2 individuals come together and bring 2 different paradigms?
Upbringings and way of doing things.
Miscommunication at a high level.
What if you could hardwire your relationship for success? What if you could understand the why behind actions and speak the same language? What if you possessed a cheat code for your relationship that provided an opportunity for you to always win?
If you're ready for your relationship to level up, don't wait. You need to click the buttons below now. Get started and get your own personalized relationship cheat code.
The relationship cheat code,
yes.
like for real. I'm gonna say this, and this changed my life.
It's a game changer.
Like for real,
totally
when I talk about a game changer, I'm talking about it changed my life to
People
the point.
People are so complex.
Oh my gosh, yes, yes, and part of the problem is we don't understand that people are complex, right?
No.
And so because we don't understand that people are complex, we say things like, "Oh, well, they meant to do that," or "They're trying to get on my nerves." And the truth of the matter is, they're not. That's just the way that they are.
And
That's
they probably
how they're
don't
wired.
even realize it
That's right.
until they get this class and take the cheat code.
That's right.
And you need to get it and click the button, not only because it's important, but because we worked really hard to make sure that Philip's skin tone and my hair color matched those really ugly curtains. So you will never get that from any other group that does anything with relationships. This is the Edge and Associates is the only company that can match hair color, skin tone, and ugly curtains. We did that just for you.
We did it just for you. We did it just for you.
We did it for you.
It was very challenging.
You're welcome.
But we did it. We did it just for you.
It took me a long time in the bathroom. It was only because my hair was blue before that on accident. Anyways,
you see what I deal with, y'all? Do y'all see what I deal with? Because She
because
is.
I'm happy.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. And inside of the comments, I did put a link, and that link, it has everything. You can get to the cheat code. You can get to following us and information about us. You can get to our YouTube page. You can get to the Edge Energy Shots. You can get to all those things. So make sure you check it out and check out all that we got going on.
Absolutely.
And we got a lot going on.
Man, there's so much.
Woo.
And it's for you.
Woo.
It's all for you. We're here literally for you to develop, equip, and empower you.
All day.
All day, every day.
What you got to say before we get out of here?
I guess that's it. Like, use these.
Use
Make your
these
relationship
tools.
strong.
Yeah.
Yep. Use the tools while they're there and available for you. Don't be like we were. Don't use a butter knife when there's a screwdriver.
Don't use a butter knife and duct tape.
Need a screwdriver.
And by the way, Mr. Riley said, he gave an answer. He said, owls plus duct tape equals scaring off a family of bees. Beehive. That is my guess.
That's
close. That's actually pretty close.
That's pretty close.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
She's your queen and she's your queen too. Anyways, all right, y'all. Okay. Listen, we love y'all, man. We love y'all. Y'all be easy. We will be back here next Sunday, 8 o'clock. Man, be checking us out because we got a lot of good things happening this week. So with that being said, we'll talk to y'all next week, man.
Peace.
Edge life, you're too close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's that edge life. Oh, gotta get it in your head, baby. Welcome to the edge life. You're too close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's that edge life. Oh, gotta